the longest-running beer podcast in the Pacific Northwest. Why wouldn't they be listening to us?
So many different beers! I got you something really good and really delicious.
Oh my God. You listen to the Brew Happy show, so do I. Do it.
It's not about the beer. It's about the beer.
Oh yeah, that's Brew Happy.
Oh yeah, that is Brew Happy. This is the Brew Happy Show. I'm the voice of beer, and thank you so much for listening. We are here this week at one of our favorite places. We are at Function PDX in Northwest, also known as the Pearl District of Portland, Oregon. That's right. This is an awesome place. We come here every single month because this is one of the places where they have all the haps on the hops. And this month, they are featuring Creature Comforts as well as ISM Brewing. We'll learn a little more about them later. We talked mostly about ISM Brewing a couple weeks ago. So that was before St. Patty's Day and before our awesome beer show with the Warden Report. So if you're going through your Spotify or iHeartRadio app or wherever podcasts are found, because that's where you're going to find the Brew Happy Show, just scroll down a little bit, and that's where you'll find more information about ISM. We will be talking a little bit about some of their picks today. One of the cool things about Function PDX is they feature not one, but two fantastic breweries every month at their two conveniently placed locations. They have one in Northeast, which we were at a couple of weeks ago over in the Alberta Arts District of Northeast Portland. And this week, of course, like I said, we're in the Pearl District in Northwest. So both places are available via public transit. They're very easy to get to through that, and both places have a lot of great restaurants around and allow outside food. There is no kitchen at these places, but they do have awesome beer. You can get it on tap, and you can get it in cans to go. That's right. So let's see. Let's talk a little bit about Creature Comforts. All right, so as we said a couple of weeks ago, Creature Comforts is in Athens, Georgia, and they expanded to a second production facility and a new brewery and tap room in Los Angeles, California. Now, these guys have initiatives that range from sustainability efforts, which recently led to a True Zero Waste certification, to their impact programs, including Get Comfortable and Brew for One, and their industry support through partnerships with Giving Kitchen and involvement in the Brewers Association. So I am drinking. That's a little background about them. I this week am drinking the Pils Baby. That is a Pilsner. It's I believe. So this is a hoppy Pilsner, and that's pretty indicative of the way that it tastes. So if you're really into lagers, especially Pilsners, but you're not, like, say you're not quite in the mood for an IPA, but you really like that hoppy flavor, but you want something that doesn't pack quite as much bam on your tongue. You want something a little more, kind of tamer and more refreshing. This is a really great way to go. The Pils Baby weighs in at 5.2%. It's clean and crisp, and it is indeed hoppy, I would say. A little more information about these guys. Their purpose, they say on their website, they exist to foster human connection, which is really cool. Their mission says they aim to be a force for good in the world through the development of industry-leading beverages and experiences. And their code of conduct at Creature Comforts is for their purpose to foster human connection, and as individuals and as a company, their purpose compels them to cultivate a culture where all people feel welcome and where any person can thrive. So that's pretty cool because that's just indicative of how the brewing industry works. We love that kind of thing. We love collaborations, and we love the fact that Function PDX here has this awesome stuff going on. They, of course, do have some brews on their menu, which I'll go over in a moment, by ISM Brewing, which we kind of focused on last week. You can learn more about them by dialing it back on your listening app. I'm not going to get into that. So let's talk a little bit about that tap list I mentioned. So we got the Pils Baby that I just talked about. That's really delicious that I'm drinking. And you might notice I'm by myself this week. John Paul is in Europe with his wife, Sue. And then Bronwyn is actually down in Florida with her parents right now. So it is just me this week. But let's see. On the tap list, they also have the We Are Who We Pretend to Be, which is a Belgian-style stout. That's by Beechwood, who we covered about a month ago. That's a 5.3 ABV, and that's a blend of 1, 2, and 3-year-old barrels. So that's pretty cool, and it's a 100% spontaneously fermented ale. So that's pretty awesome. Also by Creature Comforts, we have the Tropicalia West Coast IPA. And that weighs in at 6.6 ABV. That's a balanced, soft, and juicy IPA. They also have the Creatureism West Coast IPA. I believe we talked about that a couple of weeks ago. It's a West Coast IPA. Also at 6.8%. That's a tropical, citrusy, crisp IPA. They have another West Coast IPA that is it's called the DTLA West Coast IPA. I might have to get into exactly what that stands for. All right, that is a Downtown Los Angeles IPA. It's a modern, dark West Coast IPA, a hop aroma of pine, mango, and pineapple that leads to a present bitterness, beautifully balanced. Well, that sounds pretty good. I might have to check that out. But I'm pretty happy with my German hoppy Pilsner here. Which is kind of a misnomer. The Germans are a little strict about the way they do things. So when we do things German style here in America, there's always an American spin on things, and usually that involves an extra dash of hops. As always, you always have that malty residual sweetness that can be perceived in the aroma and flavor. Anyway, getting back to the menu, let's see. We got the Leviathan Breath Stout, which actually, honestly, that popped out on the menu to me first. It's a barrel-aged imperial stout, but that sucker weighs in at 12%, folks. So I don't like to start the show out right away, diving into the deep end of the ABV pool. So I will let you know that's aged on Weller and Buffalo Trace and Blanton's barrels for 12 months. That should have notes of creme brulee, fig preserves, and a healthy dose of American oak. So, that weighs in at 12%. And man, I tell you what, like all these pints range between $5 and $8. So That's pretty awesome. Now, one thing to say about the Function PDX Northwest location, they have 2 levels. So downstairs is what the tap list that I was telling you about. But they have a small tap list upstairs, which is where I'm doing the show here. And they have the up here. They have the homegrown West Coast pills, weighing in at 5.7. That's passion fruit, sticky herb, and purple gushers. What? Dreams of Dusk Pale. That's also by Creature. Sorry. That last one was by Shred Northwest, or Shred Beer, which we covered a couple months ago. So that's probably just a leftover keg. And then let's see. You got Dreams of Dusk Pale. That's also by Creature Comforts. That's a hazy pale. That's 5.5. That's light and sessionable. Let's see. And then something that also stuck out to me that I might actually try to get a hold of during the break, the Broken Plow Irish Stout. That's by Creature Comforts, 6.5%. Notes of dark chocolate, espresso, and toasted nuts. So, yeah, 6.5%. I think I can drive home on that. You know, I usually space the things out during the show about an hour, so... And I ate recently, so I think I'm good. And then you got this Stable Trestles Belgian by ISM Brewing, and that's a Belgian table beer. That's only 4.2%, and that's citrus up front with herbal finish and light. And, of course, that's drinkable, so... pretty cool. You got a lot of options when you come out to Function PDX Northwest. Really great place to be. I do want to thank you guys for tuning in to this Brew Happy podcast. This is a awesome show that I do for you guys. It's a lot of fun. If you want to help support the show, definitely, give that like and subscribe button, some attention there. Maybe share the podcast with some of your beer-loving friends or brewing-loving friends. We don't just cover beer. We actually do cover cider, the occasional wine, and, of course, we do love the whiskeys via John Paul. So we do try to get into a little bit of that action. And then, if you want to help support the show, check us out on patreon.com/brewhappy. For as little as $1, you can help us replace the SD cards and keep the bar tab at bay. And then, for $5 or more, we kind of interact with you a little bit. We will send you stickers and invite you to some of our events. You always have an open invitation to crash the show wherever we may be. Just send us a message and we'll give you the skinny on what's going on next. Now, we do have kind of a standing invite at Function PDX every month of the year. For the rest of the year, we are going to be at a Function PDX location not once, but 2 times a month. The first Monday of each month, we plan on being at the Northeast location, and the third Monday of each month, we plan on being at the Northwest location. Now, this is a... kind of a departure from that schedule. This week's show, we are doing it at the last and fourth month, fourth Monday of the month, because last week was St. Patty's Day, and let me tell you, St. Patty's Day got cray. Let me tell you, I wasn't about to try to do a show and do St. Patrick's Day level drinking. While trying to handle sound equipment around a bunch of other people that were drinking. That just seemed like it was going to spell disaster. So I do hope you subscribers out there excuse the fact that I missed out on last week's show. But we usually do 50 shows a year, which means that's 2 shows that we kind of take off, and at some point we'll probably have a makeup show in there somewhere, at least. So we'll throw some gravy at you later on in the year. Yeah, with that said, I love you guys. So thank you so much for tuning in wherever podcasts are found, whether it's iHeartRadio or Spotify, or on our Libsyn app as well. So that's our hosting site. You can get a hold of us directly through them, or reach out on Instagram at the Brew Happy Show. I think we're on Twitter still as Brew Happy, and we do have a Blue Sky account under Brew Happy as well. So check us out there. We love to interact with our fans. I am going to play a little bit of music and a little message from our friends in the beer industry in just a moment, while I go get another beer. And yeah, we'll be right back with some brew news as I tell you all the haps on the hops here in the Northwest.
I'm Jake. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Avery with Lazy Days Brewing, and you're listening to the Brew Happy Show.
Beer mongers. Where in this urban jungle can I find a decent craft beer?
Look, what's that off in the distance?
Distance? What distance? We're so conveniently located at Southeast 11th Avenue.
Beer mongers, bottle shop and tap room. Oh no, what's that?
Don't worry, that's just Damian rooting around in our extensive selection.
So many different beers!
Beer mongers, bottle shop and tap room.
For more information, visit thebeermongers.com or check out our social media.
It's not about the beer. It's about the beer.
This is Terry. I'm the founder of Pink Boot Society, and I'd like to invite all the women beer professionals out there to give Pink Boot Society a chance and get yourself involved. It's a great way to support Pink Boots and women in the beer industry with scholarships. Beer's an awesome thing, and the more women we can get into it, the more we're going to party.
Hey there, I'm Squeaky Pete. Are you looking to get the word out about your beer-related business? Did you know that podcasts have been rising in popularity since they were first known as audio blogging in the 1980s? With podcasts catching hold in the late 2004, there are more than 115,000 English-speaking podcasts available. Hundreds of them talk about beer, but only one will make you happy. Brew Happy. Advertise with us and get the word out about your business to more than 30,000 listeners. For more info, contact Brew Happy PDX at gmail.com. Woo-ha!
This is Casey Helwig with Imperial Yeast, and you're listening to the Brew Happy Show.
Smoke it.
All right, we're back, and thank you so much again for listening. I do want to mention, as far as the Patreon is concerned, we do have sponsors with businesses that help us out with the show as well. I don't want to forget to mention them at the $25 level. Businesses like Paul Cigars and Lazy Days Brewing. We couldn't do the show without those guys. Lazy Days Brewing is a wonderful brand to check out. They have not one, not two, but three conveniently placed locations. We love their Flint Street location as well as their Beaverton location. Both are available via the MAX rail system and other transportation that we get from TriMet. We love those guys as well. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank our bartender, Logan Shirts. That's going to be a Prost Bell for him. Thank you so much, Logan. He is behind the bar tonight at the Northwest location. He's also the GM, so he knows more about Function PDX than just about anybody around. So if you're lucky enough to bump into him, feel free to hit him up with the 411. He's got all the knowledge. So I think we were talking a little bit about some brew news, but before we get into that, I do want to mention that Function PDX, our host location for this week, has what's called the Basement Beer Club. So this is $30 a month. They have perks, of course. It is one free flight per month per member. $1 off your draft pours, which is applicable to all full-size draft pours. They have a free glass of the month, which means you get to take home the exclusive glass of the month or select a glass from a previous partner. Now, one of the things I did forget to mention earlier about Function PDX is they redo all the branding. I've probably mentioned this on past shows as well, but they redo all the branding from the glassware to the windows to the menus to the posters, everything. They do the whole. They revamp the whole place, so it looks like you're at ISM Brewing location. It looks like you're at a Creature Comforts Brewing location. They're a little heavy on one brewery at one location versus the other. So I definitely recommend checking out Northeast and Northwest each month. So that's a pretty cool thing to point out. And the glassware is always really cool. So definitely get some while the getting is good. And they also have T-shirts and other merch available from their previous partners as well. And then, so moving down the list here for their Basement Beer Club, they also have member keg access, which means they'll be tapping exclusive one-off kegs during their member parties. Oh, there's a member party. I guess you just get the email on that when you sign up. They have doubled can limits. I'm not sure what that means. They have 10% off all the merch, and then a mid-month party. Okay, this brings us to that. Join them for a member-exclusive party at 6 to 9 p.m. upstairs at the Northwest 23rd location. That's here where I'm at. And then you're going to see the dates for the first 6 member parties below. January 17th, February 13th, March 14th, of course, are already passed. And then coming up April 18th, May 16th, and June 13th. So that's what they got on the flyer so far. Exclusive merch access includes custom and exclusive merch delivered to your door. That's worth mentioning. So. Pretty cool stuff. And another cool thing is that our news segment actually starts off with some cool stuff about our favorite location here. So Function PDX has the final 2025 brewery pop-up schedule available, and that's a pretty cool thing. Let's see. Okay, so so far they have had we've covered with them Slice Beer Company and Bottle Logic in January. In February, we had Beechwood and Shred Beer Company. Of course, this month we have Creature Comforts and ISM Brewing, or ISM Brewing, rather. And now also on their calendar, and this is, on their wall, you can find this at both of their locations. April is going to be Radiant Beer Company and Pure Project. May to the beginning of June is going to be Our Mutual Friend Brewing Company and Outer Range Brewing Company. And then June to July, they're going to have Celestial Beer Works and Meanwhile Brewing Company. So that we've known about for a while, and we probably mentioned that back in January when we were looking at their beer list. But another cool thing is they just came out with the rest of the schedule. So, with that said, in July, they are going to have Cerebral Brewing and Finback Brewery. Now, we've had Cerebral. They've done Cerebral before. That we covered them last year. And JP, if he was here right now, he'd be pounding the table because that guy loves him some Cerebral Brewing. They are from Denver, Colorado. We've been there quite a few times for Great American Beer Festival. And we stop there every single time we go to Denver. So, if JP loves it, it's good. And then we have also Finback Brewery. I don't know much about them, so this is the cool thing about Function PDX is you get to learn about breweries that are usually from, they're from somewhere other than the Pacific Northwest, which is where, if you're in the Pacific Northwest, that's where you get most of the beers. That's where they're going to be from. But distributors like Day One Distribution, they are able to get a hold of, some really cool breweries from all over the country and sometimes outside of the country. And other times these breweries reach out and they ship their stuff to locations like Function that loves to feature this kind of stuff. So Finback Brewery is a New York City brewery founded in Queens back in 2011. So they obviously are very good because they survived COVID, and their passion is hoppy and complex, roasty and smoky, strong and sippable, to sessionable and gulpable beers is what they say in the New School Beer article that I'm reading about them. They have botanically diverse gins and spirits called halftone spirits. And then they have coffee called Invisible Force Coffee. And then Asian snacks from Dumpling Up. And a foray into agricultural and rural development at Farm. That's 2 F's on Farm. I'm not sure what's going on with that. And then in August, Function is going to be doing their 8th anniversary celebration featuring 16 beer collabs. That's pretty cool. So they're going to be doing their opening weekend, August 1st through the 3rd. And the Basement Beer Club event is going to be on the 15th, like I said earlier. So that's pretty awesome. They are, I think that's going to be a surprise. 8 collabs with past national partners, and I think you're just going to have to learn a little bit more about that later. Let's see, we got. In September, we got YHC Hops featuring True Brewing out of Denver. And then Burial Beer Company out of Asheville, North Carolina. which surprisingly, they a lot of places in Nashville didn't survive because they got buried by the landslides. Not to make jest of detrimental plight. But yeah, so that's pretty awesome. I mean, there were a lot of businesses, including breweries, that didn't survive that tragedy. They had a lot of crazy stuff going on over there on the East Coast. My brother lives in Charlotte, so Burial Beer was founded in 2013. It's a brewery based with brew pubs in Charlotte, where my brother lives, Raleigh. Which is the I think that's the Triangle. And then they're known for their contemporary but stylish locations and Gothic, often biblically apocalyptic imagery and branding, creative beers, and visually mouth-watering photos. So definitely take a look at their website, burialbeer.com is what I'm presuming would be their handle there. And then you got True Brewing. Now, this is the Latin spelling, so that's TRVE Brewing. And that's one of the original metal Gothic breweries in the U.S. They established in Denver back in 2012. So just a year ahead of the Burial Beer folk. They have dark, hardcore aesthetics, which includes skulls, candles, pentagrams, and loud music from their tap room. It contradicts their often unusual experimental beers that often highlight subtle flavors. They love saisons, grisettes. I do love a good grisette, as well as lagers and clear IPAs among their most notable styles. So I gotta say, we've been to True Brewing when we went out to GABF quite a few times. I think we go there just about every time we go, or at least every other time, if we can get in the door. That's the thing. This place is popular, folks. You gotta check it out. And let me tell you, one of the cleanest beer operations I've ever seen. I was probably more surprised about that. The cleanliness blew me away. It's just amazing. I thought it would be like dark and kind of grimy and grungy to kind of match the aesthetic of their branding. But I was really surprised. It's one of the cleanest little breweries I've ever seen in my life. So definitely check that out. I think the proof's in the pudding there. There's a reason why their beer is so good, and I bet I'd be willing to bet my next paycheck they've never had an infected batch, because it looks like that a very tight operation there. Okay, and coming up in October for Function Beer PDX, they have Virgin Beer, and There Does Not Exist. That's an interesting name for a brewery. Okay, so let's start with Virgin Beer. It's a social-based San Diego area brewery founded in Carlsbad, California. Okay, and they started in 2016 by ex-Stone Brewing Company people. Over the years, Virgin Brewing they built and developed. They have a devoted following and a lot of hype. Their cutting edge West Coast IPA and lagers, as well as their collabs with some of their other breweries, they're some of the best in the country. So that's I mean, there's something to be said for that. Let's see, and then There Does Not Exist. That is just a strange name for a brewery, but I'm gonna go with it. They're from San Luis Obispo. That's a lager-centric brewery near Paso Robles, California. And they were founded by ex-Firestone Walker Brewing brewer Max Montgomery back in 2019. There Does Not Exist aesthetic traffics in the stark and clean with a thread of melancholic dark existential dread of art house black metal music draped over bright canvas walls. Okay. I don't really know what to make of that, but okay. The vibe is apparently similar to their beers, which aren't dark but are as precise and pointed as the imagery. They are putting out some of the brightest and flavorful lagers in the country. And this writing is by Ezra himself from New School Beer. So, wow, I've always admired his knack for vernacular. That's well put. Yeah, you know what? Let's do a prost to Ezra. And I'm just going to take a break and point out that I am drinking a different beer. I got a new one during the break, and that is pretty important to mention because, I did mention I was going to be interested in the Broken Plow Irish Stout. And, folks, beer fans, I have it. Thank you, Creature Comforts. We'll do another beer prost to them. And, again, 6.5 ABV. Let's see. It says dark chocolate espresso and toasted nuts. Okay. I can smell a little bit of that going on there. A little bit of nutty flavor. Yep. Okay, I don't smell the chocolate, but I tell you what, I sure as hell taste it. Yeah, it's got a little nuttiness. Not strong on the espresso. There it is right there at the very end. Okay, so I would say... Okay, so it says dark chocolate, espresso, and toasted nuts. I would say chocolate, toasted nuts, and then espresso if I were to go in the order of that tasting profile that I just got. That's a nice little blast of deliciousness right there. Y'all know that I do love a dark beer. Blackout stout nights are probably a thing of the past for me because we're all getting older and we don't like to do all that crazy stuff to our bodies. But for you younger folk out there, help yourself, but make sure you have a designated driver or call a Lyft or an Uber. Have that scheduled for yourself and figure that out. Okay, moving right along. We got, hold on, let me take a sip here. Broken Plow. Yeah, that is a really good stout. I like that a lot. You wouldn't think that's 6.5. I mean, it almost comes across as a 4.5. All right, so we got out of San Ramon, Fieldwork Brewing, and then we have Wren House for November's schedule at Function PDX. That's pretty awesome. Now, the last day of October. Last couple of days of October is when the schedule changes there, and that goes straight into the third day of December. So you get an extra helping of them. I'm not exactly sure how they calculate their calendar there. It doesn't really matter. But let's talk a little bit about Wren House. So Wren House is spelled like the bird with a W in front. They're founded in Phoenix, Arizona back in 2015. Now, I've been to Phoenix. It is hot. It is so friggin' hot. So many days. The majority of the year is just almost damn near unbearable. I think everybody's inside enjoying the air conditioning. So I can imagine it'd be really tough to temperature control a brewery. You got to really dial that in. You got to pay a lot of attention to detail for that sort of thing. This is out of original Wren House founder Drew Poole, who developed a love of breweries while working at Intel in Portland. Hey, let's do a prost to that guy. That's some Portland love right there for you. So he was inspired by the heart of the brewing industry right here in the Pacific Northwest. It looks like he later made friends with a data wizard at Intel named Bill Hammond. Wait, wasn't that the Jurassic Park guy? Okay, maybe not. And then that guy went on to become a co-owner. So those two partnered up with Preston Thoney. I hope I'm saying that right. Thoney? A veteran of the iconic Big Sky Brewing up in Montana. Hey, we've talked about those guys before. And let's see. It'd be difficult to pin Wren House to one style or genre of beer. That can be said of a lot of breweries, I think. Their breadth defies description other than to say they do it all. Oh, all right. A lot of breweries start out that way. They want to, kind of dial it in for the first few years. Let's see. The brewery's annual accolades at the most prestigious national competitions stretch across style categories in hazy, juicy pales, as well as American light lagers, and even a Great American Beer Festival winning ESB, which I got to tell you is, not something that a lot of breweries attempt. An extra special bitter is, it's a delicious style. And, if you get a chance, you don't find it in a lot of places, but if you ever see an ESB, you better check that out. And you will be able to right here at Function PDX in November. So that's pretty cool. The other brewery they're going to be featuring for that month is going to be Fieldwork Brewing. Now, they're out of California, Bay's biggest player, and they opened their first of 5 locations in Berkeley back in 2015. Founder Barry Braden, a former tech exec, a lot of tech love going on here for that month. With a love of craft beer, he partnered with co-owner Alex Tweet. I wonder if he has a Twitter account. A brewer who cuts his teeth at San Diego breweries like the famed Ballast Point Brewing before helping launch Modern Times Beer. What? That's pretty cool. So Fieldwork Brewing was initially known for their farmhouse beers and embracing Northeast-style hazy IPA early on. Their portfolio expanded along with their locations. Again, I will remind you, there's 5 of these guys, and they do everything from crystal clear Japanese, American, German lagers to a heavy dose of West Coast IPAs and some Belgians. I love some Belgian action. Stouts, I got one here in my hand. Fruited sours, which I don't get to have a lot of. And all filling out a diverse lineup, which is pretty cool. So it looks like we have, for the month of November, 2 awesome breweries that were birthed from the tech industry. So these guys have to be pretty smart guys. And, you got to love yourself some beer if you're going to just throw it all in there. Now, December is going to be a little bit of a toss-up, folks, because so far we know that Android Theory is going to be one of the breweries featured, but we don't know who or if there will be a second brewery featured. Now, I have to remind you that Function PDX used to feature one brewery for an entire month at this one location here in Northwest where they started out. And it was just the basement. And they have grown. They took over the top half, which used to be a boutique, a dress boutique, I think, if memory serves. And they took over the the northeast location where Imperial Bottle Shop's second location used to be. I don't know what's going to happen in December, but we're going to find out, and you're going to hear about it right here on the Brew Happy Show. All right. Next up in the news feed, the 9th annual Baker's Dozen Coffee, Beer, and Donut Fest is happening on April 19th. That's a really great event. I definitely recommend checking that out. That's going to be over in the Goose Hollow district at Goose Hollow Inn. If you like beer and you like coffee and you like donuts, let me tell you, all three are going to be there, and they're going to be fantastic. And one of our old friends, Brian Yeager, that used to live up here, is going to be he's always in charge of that event, and he comes up from where he lives to host that and make sure that everything is running to perfection. It's the 9th one in a row, guys. It's delicious, so don't miss out on that. That's coming up. And then let's see. Spend the night. This is off of Brew Public's site. Spend the night in a brewery. Reuben's Brews has a pajama jammy jam. Okay, so that's a Seattle. That's going to be a Seattle thing going on there. So check that out. You can learn more about that on brewpublic.com. I'm not even going to get into that. It looks hilarious. They got people in pajamas having a pillow fight with this is the picture. I'm describing the picture. With a pillow fight with grain bags that I'm assuming are filled with something soft, because let me tell you, if you smack somebody in the head with a grain bag, they're going down. And they're not getting back up. Somebody that worked in the brewery, man. You don't want one of those bags falling on your head. All right, and after that, Colm O'Connor, Guinness Brewery Ambassador, provides details on Alive in 25, Guinness Storehouse 25th Anniversary. Okay, so that's Guinness, the nearly 266-year-old brewery, celebrates St. Patrick's Day weekend. Okay, that's past news. You can learn a little bit about that. It sounds like it was, some interesting stuff. Let's see. Fremont Brewing introduces year-round head full of dynamite hazy IPA. Now, this is a Seattle brand. I've been to Fremont Brewing several times. Just about every single time I go to Seattle, I check out Fremont Brewing. It is literally a walk away from the Troll under the Fremont Bridge, which I heard recently they've been thinking about moving. I don't know if that's happened yet, or if it is still on the board, or if they're actually going to do that. But anyways, if you are familiar with the Fremont Troll, and you're familiar with the Fremont Bridge, all of those things are right there in the same area as the Fremont Brewing. Really nice location. I recommend, parking anywhere in a quarter-mile radius and just go for a walk, guys. There's a great chocolate place around there. There's really good food venues, and it's worth it. It's worth the wait to get into Fremont Brewing. They do have a big patio and a large indoor, space. So just check that out. Now, what the article starts to say is, now after 61 unique brews over the course of 7 years, they got the popular Head Full of Dynamite Hazy IPA. So, definitely check that out. You can learn more about that on brewpublic.com. I'm amalgamating my news sources here. Freem Family Brewers celebrates the grand opening of its Milwaukee tasting room. We talked a little bit about this in weeks past. Their grand opening is going to be on April 7th. It's a new tasting room. So now Freem is out of Hood River. And let me tell you guys, I've never had a bad beer by Freem Family Brewing. I have sold that stuff from the 23rd Avenue Bottle Shop. I have delivered that stuff for Uptown Market. And I have drank that stuff for years. And let me tell you, I've never had a beer that I didn't like Even if it's a beer style that I'm like not really all that into, I can't say it's a bad beer because they do a really good job, and it's just one of those breweries where they just can't do any wrong. So if you're ever near a Freem, and that's spelled with a PFRIEM. It's an odd spelling. But that's their name, and it really is a family-owned company. So definitely check them out. We like to support small business, and we're going to give them a prost. Okay, so moving right along, we got Public Coast Brewing announcing their resurgence of IPA and orange cream soda. Oh, fuck yes. Sorry about the swearing, but, sometimes I just get excited about stuff. Releasing 2 new special release beverages. Oh my God. Zero proof orange cream soda and the Resurgent IPA. Guys, they're both available in Tall Boys, so it looks like. So get it at your nearest bottle shop. Bottle shops that I love here in Portland include Imperial Bottle Shop, and Beer Mongers, both available on Division. And then you got Belmont Station over on Stark, just a street over from Belmont Street. They started out on Belmont Street, right next to Horse Brass, but now they're over on Stark, just a block away. And let's see. Oh, well, you gotta appreciate the folks over at sorry, I took a sip of beer. John's Marketplace. They have 2 locations, so those are the places I'm gonna promote. Oh, and I can't forget about Chill and Phil up in my neck of the woods. So those are always great spots to get a hold of Public Coast, Freem, and other awesome beers. Oh, and then you got the Rip City Ale Fest returning on Friday, March 21st. What isn't that already passed? But I'm sure it was an awesome. That's old news, but it's worth mentioning because, if you're a basketball lover, you probably already made it to that event. Zupan's Market, they partner with Breakside Brewing on the latest farm-to-market West Coast IPA. You got to love some Breakside, another one of those breweries that are always doing awesome things in the industry, and they can do no wrong, in my opinion. Ben, if you're listening, love you, brother. Thank you so much for everything you do for the beer industry and for putting out such awesome brewers. Their training program there is phenomenal. And then we got Steelport Knife Company presenting the 2025 Portland Sourdough Showcase. I'm not even going to get into all that. I don't know what that has to do with beer, but you can go to brewpublic.com to find out more about that. And then the Stumptown 40 Pinewood Derby for adults comes to Gigantic Brewing for over 70 years. Over 70 years ago, the first Pinewood Derby competition was held and has been a staple event of the Cub Scout program of the Boy Scouts of America. Now, many of you may not know this, but I myself was a Cub Scout and a Weeblo and a Boy Scout. So, as someone who personally competed in this competition, I came in first twice and second 3 times. Let me tell you, it's a fun event. It's a fantastic event, and you should always support organizations like the Boy Scouts of America. I will point out, I was a medic for 2 years when I first moved to Portland almost 20 years ago. And they don't. It's not just boys. They have the venture program that includes girls, and it's a really great organization to be a part of. Let's see. I'm going to read a little bit more about this. the Stumptown 40 makes its return on Saturday, April 26th at 2 p.m., hosted by Gigantic Brewing and 33 Books. Now, we've talked a little bit about 33 Books in the past. They give you these little books that you can kind of document your journeys through your different ventures for different brews, and other things as well. But we first met them when they were doing the little beer log books that you can kind of log your tasting adventures in. And the event is sure to bring high-speed thrills and handcrafted engineering and a healthy dose of competition. Now, I had to hand carve my Pinewood Derby car with my Boy Scout knife, which I still have to this day. My dad was nice enough to hold on to that for me, and I found it in his stuff after he died. And Dave Selden, founder of the 33 Books, whether you're here to win or just enjoy the spectacle, it's a celebration of creativity, competition, and of course, beer. So, it's a family-friendly event. It's an awesome thing to participate in, starting with a simple block of wood and 4 wheels. Competitors have to craft their own race cars. It really is a lot of fun. As again, somebody who participated in this as a kid, you see some really crazy designs, and sometimes you want a sleek design, sometimes you want a heavy design. It's really about getting down the track, which is at a slope. So the fastest car is for those who value speed and precision. The best art car is for those who believe style matters. So there's an award for that, and then you enter by purchasing the kit, which is available now at any Gigantic Brewing location while supplies last. There's quite a few Gigantic Brewing locations. I don't remember off the top of my head how many are available right now, but I think the number is more than 4. Register your entry, build your car, and then the race schedule is the track opens at 2, inspection is at 3, until 5:50, and then the green flag goes down at 6, and then trophies are awarded at 8. So if you are into some maximum velocity Pinewood Derby cars and you want to bond with your kids, it's $25 for one of these kits. And like I said, it's a really great organization. I want to thank DJ from Brew Public for writing this article. Really well done, very thorough, and I loved the pictures. And you know what? Let's do a prost for Gigantic Brewing, our friends Van Havig, and the rest of the crew over there for hosting this awesome and prestigious event. So that's just a really cool thing to be a part of. Thank you so much for participating. I think that does it for the brew news, folks. As always, I don't just like you, I love you, and I want to have a beer with you. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this this stout that I have here by Creature Comforts Brewing. And, the Broken Plow. Wow. Broken Plow, wow. That's my comment there. As always, I don't just like you, I love you, and I want to have a beer with you. Until next week, beer fans, keep brewing, but brew happy right here at Function PDX, where you can get an awesome beer from abroad at not 1, but 2 conveniently placed locations. Thank you so much, Function PDX, for participating and being a supporter of the brewing industry and bringing us so many tasty brews. Cheers.
This production is brought to you by Brew Happy Media, the ultimate brewers media resource. For more information, go to thebrewhappyshow.com and brewhappypodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at Brew Happy. For more cigar pairings, please check out our sponsor, hallcigars.net. Questions, concerns, advertising, or guest relations? Please reach us at brewhappypdx@gmail.com. Remember, brew happy, drink responsibly. Cheers.
Yeah, baby! Smoke it. Oh my God. Oh my God.